It's snowing at the Yankee Candle Village, folks. No, it's not. It's raining outside, but inside it is snowing. I am back at the Yankee Candle Village flagship store in South Deerfield, Massachusetts for a spontaneous vlog on my secondary channel, Aromatically Speaking. First things first, this is horrible lighting. I don't naturally always look this unhealthy, but the lighting is what it is. How are we doing? Hi Laura, how you doing? And Stephanie, thank you for joining in. Everyone joining in, thank you for joining in. You know, today was a really messy day in New England. If you're in New England, you know what I'm talking about. It's cold, it's wet, it's not a good day to photograph outside. So, like many occasions, my plans have changed slightly today. The plan was to come here early to Yankee Candle Village to get some shots of some things that I didn't get yesterday. And I did. I got the pretty shots of all the jars and stuff like that. And I was supposed to be on my way after that, but I decided to spend another night and actually start editing in the motel room. Jamie's life. What's up? Hey, what's going on? And so yeah, I figured, you know what? Instead of trying to battle through the rain, make it a day of editing. But I had to get out of the motel room. You just can't. I can't stay in a motel room all day. And honestly, I'm not kidding. This is my first Oban Pod. Thank you, Yankee Candle, because this is my first real cup of coffee. I don't know what time is it. I don't even know what time it is. But it's deep into the afternoon. But this is my real cup of coffee, other than motel coffee. Man, do I need it, because I was up late, being a night owl these days, but I was up really early, and that's hot. That's hot. Again, let's get some more snow. This isn't snow, this is cotton. There's a mixture of this flex. Since I did a Smell It Sunday live, I did a spontaneous live yesterday, and I addressed nobody's questions. I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to just sit down, and if anybody's available, if you have any questions, you want to know, just you want to chat, throw anything out, as long as it's, of course, family friendly. You know, there's children watching. Let's hang out. Instead of me just sitting here alone drinking coffee, which is in Yankee Candle Village quite sad with all the families walking around. At least I can look like a weirdo, a guy drinking coffee talking to my cellular phone, my iPhone. Did you get out to vote today? That is a good question. I did not get out to vote. This is a huge problem, because I am in Massachusetts. I'm registered in New York State. So I did not plan ahead. And I feel terrible about this. But please, let's not talk about politics. But in New York State, it seems like no matter what you vote, it's kind of, well, it's New York. Let's not talk politics. But if you guys did get out and vote, good for you. Thank you for being a stand-up civilian, the United States. What's the word? Committed. I need my coffee. Who do we have going on here? I know they have themed rooms there. Is there one that has a reindeer themes or a theme? Well, you know, the rooms kind of change. So Stephanie, answer your question. Yeah, so when you go into the Bavarian Village, which is out and around, maybe we'll take a short walk before I exit. I do have all my camera equipment, so I can't go on like a massive run around tour like I did yesterday. If you didn't check out that tour, my main channel, I did a live quick kind of overview of everything that's happening at the Yankee Candle Village. But what they do in the Bavarian Village is they have those different little rooms, as you probably know, Stephanie, and there's a couple rooms that are loosely themed. There's some rooms that are definitely like they're themed. Like they have the Irish room, everything Ireland. I shouldn't say Irish, it's really more Ireland. Ireland figures, Ireland paraphernalia, and kind of almost in an almost too stereotypical way, but I don't take offense to that. I'm Irish. But reindeer, they have a room that's kind of angels and very white and snowy and frosty and luxurious and clean, and everything's made of crystal and it's iridescent. So I'm sure there's quite a few of those that get elegant reindeer kind of things, but if you're talking like rustic, like, log cabin-ish, Catskill, Berkshire Mountains, the Adirondack Mountains kind of reindeer, they do not. But Donner, if you watch my 45-minute, really in-depth tour of the village, check that out. It's a really good video to watch too, because it's a video that predates all of the changes that they have made. So if you've been here recently, you get to see a lot of the things that are some things are no longer here. But I call Donner. I call him Donner. There is a full-size, life-size reindeer that's on the top of one of those villages, like in the courtroom. He's way up on top, and I finally asked the right person, and the story goes there was a spotlight on that reindeer. It just burned out one day, and for years it just hasn't been replaced. And for me, it's always been this Easter egg, because it's so hard to see this reindeer. You really have to look into the darkness and adjust your eyes. And with my camera, I can adjust the aperture, the iris, to get an exposure on them. But with your eyes, it's so hard to see. So I always like to point that out. If you're here at the village, what the biggest Easter egg in the whole place is Donner, Rudolph's father, hiding up in the rafters, not the rafters, but up on the chimney, the chimney top. I'm trying to think of a Christmas song. The chimney top in the dark. But make sure you check out my in-depth tour of the Yankee Candle Village. It's the one where the thumbnail actually looks like an old Yankee Candle label. It's about 45 minutes long. I didn't have the best lenses back then, and I was using a lot of my cell phone footage. So the footage isn't the greatest. I could do like a much better video now, but it took me days and days, actually a couple trips to make that video. It looked like it was one day. You notice like every other shot, my clothes are changing because every room was like a different day, because I was going around, with the customers. I would try to come in as soon as the doors open to have it to myself for like a half hour, and then at closing, that was when I can get the wide shots, because I really don't want to be filming the actual customers. One, you're interfering with their customer experience, but also I would need to have them sign releases if I start photographing people's faces. Even though it's the vlog world, I still like to play by the documentary rules. Okay, and everyone who's voted today, good for you. Thumbs up. I apologize. I just was not supposed to be here today. And like I said, I'm not in my home state right now. I should have planned ahead. Boy, I recently got stocked up on a few Yankee candles. Whoop. No, I lost your comment. Come back. Boy, I recently stocked up on a few Yankee candles, sugar and spice, which I normally love, and apple pumpkin. Hardly any throw. Renee, thank you for bringing this up. Hardly any throw. One, Renee, where did you get these candles? If you got them from a Yankee Candle retail, then we can talk. We can definitely talk, because I think we can figure it out because, you know, having 2 duds is so unlikely. But if you purchase them at an outlet, if you purchase them at a bargain store like a TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, things like that, it's always a risk. It's always a risk. They come at great prices, but it's always a risk. But the good news is there's always little tactics, little tricks that you can do depending on what vessel you bought them in. Let's say you bought them in a house warmer jar. Keep the flame low. Keep the flame low and really insulate your jar. Don't get that flame rip-roaring high, because if the flame is too high, sometimes we think the bigger the flame, the better. But that flame, the heat from that flame, what it'll do is it'll take the vapors that are coming from the jar. Pretend this is the jar, right? And the vapors are the fragrance, but that's what I mean by vapors, are starting to come out from the jar. But if that flame is so hot, it actually scorches that vapor. It burns that vapor before it has a chance to spread. So don't necessarily think of it as throw. Think of it as carry. Think about how the distance, how far you can get that vapor to go from one place to another. Quick little trick too, Renee, because I always want to talk about these things, but I don't know, I find that they're controversial, but I just don't care anymore because it's Christmas. Buy the cheapest fog machine that you could possibly find, especially now. It's right after Halloween. Fog machines have to be on sale at like Party City or something, right? Go and buy a fog machine. I'm not kidding. Buy some fog juice, put it in your living space, wherever you burn candles, and just slowly pump a little bit of fog. Let that fog trickle around in your living room or wherever you burn your candles. Maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's your, studio apartment, whatever it is. And watch that fog. See what it does. Watch its activity. I know this sounds crazy, but I used to do this. Oh, I still do this. But when I remember when I first moved into an apartment in California, I was having really big problems with actually smelling my candles. I'm like, what is going on? And it was the first time I ever had central air in my life. I had air conditioners. I never had central air. And when I had that fog machine going, what I saw was the fog, pretend this was the wall, the fog started to trickle up the wall and then up onto the ceiling. And it just stayed there. And what that illustrates to you, that fog illustrates your fragrance. That is your candle aromatics. And if it's trickling up the wall and it's staying up on the ceiling, guess what? If you stand on a chair, I bet you'll smell it. So what you want to do is, I had to figure out ways to make sure draft, things like fans, air pressure in the room, humidity in the room. I checked all of those things, and I got to a point where I could take the fog machine, and when I had that nice steady cloud of fog just floating in the middle of the room, I know I sound like a lunatic. But I'm telling you, this is why I take candles very seriously. This is what I used to do. I still do it. When I have that cloud of fog that's just kind of lingering right there in the center of the room, then I know I have my fragrance in the right spot. Then if I can't smell the candle, then I might start considering that it's a dud. But there's virtually, someone could write a book on all of the protocols, rules, not rules, but protocol methods of how to burn candle, and a lot of troubleshooting. Also depends on the format, depends on the wax, it depends on the environment, it depends on your elevation, it depends on the humidity, the oxygen flow. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, if there's no oxygen constantly being pumped into the room, well, your fragrance is not going to spread. That's one day we'll talk about this, but I once I get on that topic, I can never stop. So let's move on. But thank you for asking that question. Good evening, Shane. Good evening. Well, it's Rianne. It is evening. Thank you for joining in, Rianne. Why do you have to go live when I'm going to sleep? Haha, just joking. She goes, just joking a bit. I'm sorry about that. This is really more of a hangout than like a live with an objective. And Nicole says, voting, it does affect her jaw. I think that's what you were talking about. Last year, the scent seemed much stronger, says Renee. Will you visit Kringle while in the area, says Nancy. Here's the problem with Kringle. And it's not a problem with Kringle, it's a problem with filming at Kringle, is that you see this? Like, if you see any of the employees, people with the Yankee Candle aprons on, they know me by name now. If they don't know me by name, they know me as the Candle Enthusiast. So they welcome me. I'm okay. I'm not a threat to them. They like my videos. They I don't want to say endorse my videos, but they definitely do, like, give me shout outs here at the Village, and they welcome me with open arms. However, at Kringle Candle, that is not the case. Not because they're not friendly people, but it was very, over time, it was easy for, I keep saying easy, because I frequent so much, it became just a natural process that I met one manager, I met another manager of a different department, and then right now, like yesterday, I was talking to several managers and the president of the Yankee Candle Village. They're the sweetest people in the world. And, you know, they give me a few simple rules, regulations, and I can do whatever I want. But at Kringle Candle, I can't get through. I mean, I've tried to go right to the source. Michael Kittredge III, and, you know, he's probably a busy guy. But I've also tried going through with, I apologize for the Willy Wonka hair, guys. The Gene Wilder thing. There's hard water in the hotel, what can I say? But I can't seem to get a go-ahead, a green light. So if I film at Kringle Candle, which I will, probably not this trip, but I will be coming back through this area again before the season's over, I have to kind of do it like good old-fashioned vlog style. Go in with the camera, my cell phone, film, kind of trying to keep it low-key, not use my stage voice, and piece something together there. But like right now, I have my tripod, my camera, my microphone, I have my GoPro, I have all my camera equipment in my cart right here. I can set this, I can do anything I want. Again, as long as I'm not like interfering with customers' experience, I can do anything I want. At Kringle, that is not the case. One time, many times actually, I've had it in my cell phone, I've been filming, and the associates are like, what are you doing? And that's usually the case with most retail stores. If you walk in with a camera, if they know you're filming, they don't like it. It's not necessarily against the policy, but they do not, the management does not like it. And Rianne, have a good evening. If you gotta go to sleep, please go to sleep. I want to see the food in the general store there, the jams and such. I love things like that. Okay. Okay. Let me think about that, Laura, because I would like to do that. I don't know if I can do that again because I have all my stuff. I don't know if I could do that like on a live. I really want to do like a new 4K, really high quality Yankee Candle Village video. It's just so much work, right? And when do you do it? You know, you have to do it in the off season, and during the off season, they don't have all the they have Christmas stuff up, but not all the Christmas stuff up. I'm sorry. You know, notice how I've been going, not smacking my lips, but smacking my tongue. I apologize. I've been rewatching some of my live videos, and I can't stand that noise. So if I start doing it, just, you know, put like a slap emoji in the comments so I know to stop smacking my tongue. It's the most obnoxious sound in the world. Shane, I always rewatch all of your Christmas themed videos at this time of year. You know, I wish I could say other things than thank you. You know, there's so many synonyms for so many words, but unless I start speaking other languages, there's really no other way to say thank you. That is my ultimate goal. And trust me, when I hear a comment like that, trust me, it means the world to me. So thank you, and keep watching them. Hopefully, I'll add to the videos that you can watch annually this year, this holiday season. We have some good stuff planned. I just smacked again. Marshmallow Zap, Laura is in the house. Instagrammers, check out Make-A-Wish Foundation and Disney. Hashtag share your ears. Okay, so Laura's saying check out Make-A-Wish Foundation, Disney, share your ears for a good cause. I'm sure Laura and I have known each other, we've spoken with each other via the interwebs for a long time, and if I trust her opinion. If it's a good cause, well, if it's for Make-A-Wish, I'm sure it's a good cause. So make sure everyone checks that out. Huge shout out. And it's funny, Laura, not Laura, but Laura. I know what you're referring to, but it's just a weird comment that people don't understand. Laura Horror Queen puts, yeah, Laura, I need to show you my ears later today. People without context could be a little bit confused by that. I'm sure you mean your Mickey ears. 10 p.m. says Rianne. How's Eric Peter Carlson, Rianne? I haven't talked to Eric Peter Carlson all week. Has he done any lives? Man, only just seen you are live, and I'm about to head out filming. Have to watch it later when I get home. Out filming, exploring with fighters. So are you a vlogger? I don't think we've been formally introduced. But good luck filming. I know that feeling when you have a big day ahead of you. I'm burning Yankee Candle's apple spice today. It's so nice. Apple spice is very nice. In fact, I was in the showroom, and it's just so much fun to listen. In the showroom, the area where they have, like, not the classics, but all of the Yankee Candle fragrances that we know. To listen to the customers come in, whether they're Yankee Candle fans, like a little bit, or maybe they don't know Yankee Candle at all, but it's so great to hear their conversations, like, you know, like apple spice. We all know apple spice, right? You know, to have someone say apple spice, that sounds like such a good candle. Like they're discovering the candles for the first time, and it's so fun. I don't want to be a creep and like eavesdrop on them, but it really is great to hear their dialogue. It's so much fun, especially the kids. There was this little girl who was smelling a candle, and her mom, you know, politely said, you know, come on, put it back. So she puts it back, and she walks across the room, kind of like strutting like this. And she's like, I like pink sands. And she said it with such attitude and conviction. And I don't know, it warms your heart. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm a creep eavesdropping on customers' conversations, but you can't help but get these little nuggets of conversation here and there. And Diane says, hey, I found you. I found you too. Diane. I miss you, Diane. You know what it is? I miss all of you guys because I haven't been in the comments section of my videos in so long. Like whenever I post a video, I used to respond to every single comment, but I didn't want to just say thank you for watching, thumbs up. Thanks for your support, blah, blah. You know, I really was establishing like friendships with a lot of the folks and most of the folks in the comments sections. And I don't like to just put generic copy and paste responses. So it always took me so long to respond, and I need to get back to it because I feel like what that's done is it's taken me out of. We don't have that connection, Diane. Diane, you're just one example where we used to talk about Christmas trees, aluminum Christmas trees. I remember all of our conversations. I remember what kinds of Christmas trees you like, and that you're okay with Christmas when it's not Christmas, and there's never too much Christmas content. Don't think I forgot about all that stuff. I remember our conversations. And Horror Queen, I'm gonna call you Horror Queen Laura because we have Laura in the house. And she goes, I love your Gene Wilder hair. Well, thank you, but trust me, I don't know what it is. In California, my hair, I look like some like Greek, Roman god with, you know, the hair is like just a big mane of hair. But I don't know if it's the water, I don't know what it is, if it's the humidity. But when I come back to the East Coast, this is what happens. And my only thing to do is I can mess it up and go for like I'm doing it on purpose kind of thing. But let's face it, I can't pull off anything trendy. Although my aromatically speaking photo is awesome. I love that I'm holding up with my hair, got like the Casey Neistat thing going on. But I'm smacked my lips again. Gotta go soon, but before I go, Shane, I bought you a Dutch candle. It will probably arrive in 2 weeks. Oh my God. Rianne, thank you so much. 2 weeks. Wow, that is a long transit time. But I am highly anticipating that, Rianne. Rianne, if everyone's not acquainted with Rianne, know that Rianne is like the sweetest person in the world. I actually was introduced to her through my brother's channel, Eric Peter Carlson. He has a Disney vlog channel, and Rianne kind of migrated over from my brother's channel, and she's been a wonderful addition to the Candle Enthusiast. I can't say Candle Enthusiast family because it's the EPC family on my brother's channel. The Candle Enthusiast, or the TCE, Bubble of Positivity. Family, Bubble? I like Bubble. Bubble sounds a lot less cultish, if you ask me. Bubble of Positivity. And I'm sorry if the camera's shaking as I go through here. Here in Germany, I just met Country at Heart yesterday, and I had a wonderful conversation with her. So if Country at Heart, if you're watching, know that we just go completely like in a movie, like two ships in the night. Only we did actually meet. We didn't pass each other by. We met each other and we talked. And she's been with me since the very beginning. And she's a German blogger, and she's doing a huge New England trip right now. So huge shout out to her, Country at Heart. Follow her on Instagram and check out her blog. Really, really interesting stuff. Even if you can't speak German. Really, really interesting stuff. Even if you can't speak German, it's still fun to watch her videos because it's amazing how much like body language, and she's a great photographer and great writer, how you know, the point comes across. I'm losing my train of thought, but it was a really nice to meet her, and great to finally have like a face to someone I've been talking to for 2 years. Smacked my lips. Here in Germany, I can say that the quality of the candles have changed. This is what Country at Heart was telling me as well. Or it's changed. This is what Country at Heart was telling me as well. Or she's saying that's what she has heard. The house warmer still spread scents. I like the word spread Great choice of words. Spread sense, fine, as usual. So I can't really relate to all the fuss which is going on. So they have changed or they haven't changed? I can't say that. Oh, I read it wrong. I can't say that the quality has changed. Well, yeah, so internationally, abroad, at least now, the majority of Yankee candles are being manufactured in the brand new Czech Republic facility. And this is a huge philosophical conversation when it comes to candles. You know, if I may, just real quick, people ask me, like, what was that light bulb moment for you with candles? What was your light bulb moment? Leave that in the comments below. What was your light bulb moment? But if I may, let me just go back to wine for a second. Let me tell you my wine light bulb moment. I used to work in the wine industry, just have to remind folks. I was sitting in a vineyard with some people I hardly even knew, but just acquaintances, and we're sitting down, we're having a picnic with cheese and bread, great company, and we're drinking this wine, and it was delicious. And there was lots of different wines that we were trying. And I had this glass of, I don't even remember what it was. It was definitely a red blend. And I asked someone, I'm like, what is this wine? Where did it come from? And they're like, dude, Shane, it came from where you're sitting. It came from this vineyard. And I looked around, I'm like, wait a minute. So the wine that I'm drinking came from this beautiful place, this place that I am now picnicking, having a wonderful experience, creating a memory. These vines that surround me, these rows, these acres or hectares of property covered with some vines of over 100 years old, produce the fruit that made the juice, that fermented into the wine, that aged in the barrels, that went into the bottle, that aged in the bottle, that came to me at this day, at this moment, into my glass. And I'm drinking it now in this moment. And all of that happened right where I was sitting. And bam, that was my light bulb moment. It's not about the alcohol. It's not about intoxication. It was about this immediate romance of being in touch with something that really wine, if you're talking about the land, the vines, we're talking about something that could span over hundreds of years, what you're drinking. And that's why I love so much about wine. So this concept also is true when it comes to candles. I think people, and help me out if I'm wrong, because I kind of grew up in New England. I grew up in New York, but it's kind of New England. It's New England-ish. But if I was living in Germany, if I was living in Italy, if I was in where's Yankee Candle? Where else is it popular? Finland. Let's just say Europe in general. In all these beautiful countries. There's something very romantic knowing you have to spend a lot of money to get that Yankee Candle to you, but there's something very special. This is a cup of coffee. It is not a Yankee Candle, but there's something very romantic, and I would even say spiritual, knowing that Yankee Candle came from New England. Because what I think people from New England, or maybe even the United States, they don't get is that people abroad look at New England as this, like, some, not all, they look at it as this fairy tale land, this magical, beautiful place that, is the epitome of Americana and Norman Rockwell and good old-fashioned small-town life. And I think when you're producing a candle that's trying to capture that feeling of New England, and it's not coming from New England, it's as if I went back to that day in the vineyard, and I was drinking that wine, and I said, well, where did this wine come from? And somebody said, Chile. Well, I'm like, I'd be like, oh, good, this is a great Chilean wine. But I wasn't in Chile that day. you know, you know, if it came from Australia, if it came from France, it came from Italy, it came from Germany, it came from Austria. You know, that light bulb moment probably wouldn't have gone off, at least not at that time. But there was that connection of time and space. And so I think that having the whole Czech Republic factory in Yankee Candle, or in the factory, Yankee Candle factory in Czech Republic, is upsetting to the hardcore Yankee Candle fans because they want their candles coming from New England, from this Yankee Candle factory. If you've ever burned, prior to this year, if you ever burned a Yankee Candle in your life, prior to this year and not before 1983, it came from one facility. No other facility. There's never been another place of manufacturing Yankee Candle products other than the Yankee Candle factory, which isn't here. It's like several miles down the road. And there is something romantic about that. All right, so let's rewind. I hope I made my point there, and I hope it wasn't too long. Hey, my clothes smell like candles. I always really loved that name. My clothes smell like candles. I'm telling every candle maker that I've ever met, they've said those words. Liz from Which City Wicks, she was telling me the story recently about, like, she was picking up her kids from school, and I don't know if it was a teacher or whatever, but somebody said, who smells like a birthday cake? And she goes, it's me. If people say you smell like a birthday cake, I'll take that any day, honestly. I think I've seen most, if not all, of the Yankee Candle Village tours. I'm guessing you're Stephanie talking about my videos, and I love them. You're always mentioning nostalgia, and I miss the East Coast. Stephanie, are you not in the East Coast? You're always mentioning nostalgia, and I was under the impression, Stephanie, you were in the East Coast. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. I think I'm getting some things mixed up in my head. Yeah, you know, but you know what? The grass is always greener, because honestly, I was just thinking yesterday how much I miss Napa Valley. And not because it's trust me, you know, I lived in Napa Valley. I was a resident of Napa Valley. I wasn't vacationing in Napa Valley. There's a big difference. But I miss it, you know. I miss getting home from work and going out for long walks in the vineyards and truly being alone. Napa Valley is a very small space. People think of it as this massive chunk of land. It's literally 5 miles by 30 miles. That is small. I did the math once. That's only like that's less than like 10 Disney Worlds. Not even. It's like 5 Disney Worlds. It's such a small place. But there's areas of Napa Valley where you really feel like you're the only person alive. Hey Santa, did you see Santa in the back? Oh, you know, I gotta show you Santa. I said that in the comments, did I not? Thing is, I don't know if he wants. He's not really busy today because there's not a lot of kids here. I mean, why would there be? They're at school right now. So he's kind of just chilling. Santa Claus, you know, he's kind of, you know, he's checking his list. He's checking it twice. He's doing his thing. But, you know, I don't want to, like, stick a camera in his face when he's actually, like, sees me, like, when he's not doing anything. If he's, like, you know, talking to a parent or something, I could sneak a, kind of, like, some video of him. But just to walk up to him and, like, stick a camera in his face, like, Santa Claus, I got you on camera. You're the real deal. I don't know if he liked that. I want to stay on Santa's good side. Okay, I gotta move through this. I gotta move this good. Winter Wonder Candle reminds me of a scent from Yankee Candle 20 years ago. Diane, you have an incredible memory. Winter Wonder is everyone has to go to experience it. I mean, I lost you. I apologize. I keep getting phone calls, but yeah, Winter Wonder. You love it, you hate it. I don't think anybody will hate it, but it's crazy to me. I said this. I'm going to say this in my evaluation video. To me, it really is. There's so many similarities to Angel's Wings. Diane, if you smell Winter Wonder, if anyone has Winter Wonder, smell it. And if you're familiar with Angel's Wings, think about it. Be like, wow, it really is. But you can almost miss that whole thing because there's this overlaying mintiness going on, that kind of mintiness going on, that kind of there's so much going on. It kind of it's hard to I don't know. It was hard for me to break down. I mean, I honestly could have spent a half hour alone just talking about that candle during my evaluation, but I tried to keep it as fast as I could. Exploring the Fighter says, we haven't met. How rude of me. It's not rude at all. Hi, Shane. My name is Dan, and I vlog my travels around the world exploring abandoned and historical locations. Love your content. You deserve more subscribers. Well, thank you very much, Dan. I'll definitely check out your channel, and everyone tuning in. If you enjoyed the abandoned videos and travel and tourism videos, historical videos, you name it, check out Dan's channel. See what it's all about. I prevent myself from doing abandoned videos because from coming from a documentary or a film world, I've had enough close calls with police and breaking the rules. I'll only do an abandoned video if I get liability insurance, which is not that expensive, liability insurance, and obviously full written permission that I can be there. On the last live stream, Eric showed a vlog of a drone video with the gingerbread cookie. Yes, this was an idea that both of us had. I was actually at Santa's Village for the first time when he called me and said, I'm going to buy this drone. It's so funny how things move, the technology, but this was like when the Phantom Pro, Phantom 4, Phantom 5, whatever it was, it was like, you know, this massive drone, the big white drone, and now it's like you can get the Mavic Pro for like half the price and like a tenth of the size. But anyway, he got that drone, and it was a gift from our parents. They wanted to give it to both of us. I'm like, no, just give it to Eric. And I'm like, first of all, you shouldn't be buying us presents. We're grown men. But our parents are always very generous at Christmas time, and they bought him that drone, and we were all together, myself, Eric, my brother, Monica, his wife, and we were Christmas shopping, and I'm like, let's buy a gingerbread cookie and do a gingerbread in flight, knowing that it could be very dangerous because we had like heavy duty cable holding that gingerbread cookie, and if one of those cables got caught in the propellers, it would have been bye-bye drone. And I see hi Anthony's. So I'm guessing Anthony from Candle Cafe is in the house. Anthony, I'll get to your comment in a second if you're still with us. I'm reading all your comments here. Shane, since you love wine, I'm curious, what is your favorite cheese? My favorite cheese, I mean, I don't have the money or the resources. Even when I was like making like a decent living working in the wine industry, to be tasting cheeses from around the world. Tasting wine when you work in the wine industry is usually free because people bring it to you to taste. They want you to taste it because they want you to buy it for the restaurant. Whether you're a beverage director for a restaurant or working for wine retail, so you get to taste wine all the time. But I will say, anyone on the West Coast, Cowgirl Creamery out of Petaluma, they make like Oh man, I'm telling you, they have a whole selection, but like they're farmers, like triple cream farmer cheese. They all have proprietary names, but I'm telling you, I could simply eat like a wheel of this cheese, and it was like soft, like country crock butter. Like that was the texture. It was so soft. You put that on. I lived literally a block away from the very famous French Laundry restaurant, which is right next door to the same owner's restaurant, Bouchon Bakery. So, and my roommate worked at Bouchon Bakery, so she'd bring home like baguettes every day. And we were just eating all this wine, cheese, and baguettes. But Cowgirl Creamery, they get decent distribution, but I don't know if they're going to make it all the way. They're definitely not going to make it all the way through the country. Okay, so Diane's saying, I think she's referring to when she first got involved in Yankee Candle. I was a Yankee Candle fan, and she's addressing it to Laura. She goes, it was French vanilla. It was a French vanilla votive, which is great because I have a very old vintage French vanilla apothecary jar that smells amazing still. French vanilla votive was my first candle, and I always loved that scent. Paid full price when it was 23 years old, which back then was probably 50 cents each. Yeah, well, French vanilla, you think that's one of those candles that wouldn't have a long shelf life, but as it turns out, I think mine's probably like an 85, 6, 87, and it still smells really good. I was gonna do I gotta start doing the Yankee Candle archive videos again, where I take a vintage Yankee and like one that was poured this year and compare them side by side. Shane, since you love wine, okay, we got to that question already. As a Canadian who went to Boston this summer, I was so excited to get to the Yankee Candle store for my fall candles. I'm burning the last of them now. Lorna, good for you, good for you. And look, some people were giving me, not grief, but they're like, hey, what are you doing? You're celebrating Christmas already? You just have to remember, when you're on YouTube and you're on social media, you have to kind of be like a little bit, like a few weeks ahead of schedule. Like there's no point in posting a Christmas video 2 weeks before Christmas. No one's gonna watch it, but if you post it now, it gives people time to, you know, watch it at their discretion. So, you know, it's one of those things where sometimes, you know, Halloween for me comes a little bit early, Christmas comes a little bit early. It does not mean I will skip Thanksgiving. And I even forget what the question was. That Lorna's burning her fall candles. Yes, by no means am I suggesting that because I'm celebrating Christmas here at Yankee Candle Village that you should be burning Yankee Candle Christmas fragrances. Be burning what I call phase 2 autumn fragrances, like autumn leaves and November rain. Those are what I would consider phase 2. And finally, I get to Anthony's comment, Candle Cafe. Hi all. Anthony, thank you for popping in. I haven't talked to you, friends, for a long time. I think it's time. What do you guys think? Is it time that Anthony and myself, Candle Cafe, the Candle Enthusiast, that we do another collaboration? Did you not know that we did a collaboration? You didn't know? Look up that video. We did a collab. We collabed like hip YouTube social media lights, social media people. We collabed on a video, but I think I had so much fun with all the collaborations that I did with Anthony, with Doug from Spooky Villages, with Bren, with Witch City Wicks, and all of the candle companies that we never really actually met in person, but you know. Actually, I had this really great collaboration lined up, and I hope she's watching because I know she watches. But she's always, I don't know, I think it's hard because I do candles and I do things aromatics, and I kind of I found, I don't know if you follow her on Instagram, but her name is Jaunty Julie. Jaunty Julie. And she does like fingernail artwork. And trust me, I've never painted my nails other than like whiteout or something, right? And even if I did, I wouldn't care, because when you see what Julie does, like the artwork, like she's literally making like portraits, painting on her nails. They're not just like, oh, that's that color. She's like drawing things, painting things. So I highly recommend you check out her channel. But I reached out to her because she commented on a few of my videos. I'm like, I don't know how we can collaborate, but how cool would it be? And so reach out to Jaunty Julie on Instagram and say that if you're into that. Again, I don't paint my nails, but I could watch her videos. They're so entertaining. It's like Bob Ross of fingernail painting. I'm getting really sleepy. Got to go to bed. Everyone, yes, Rianne, please. Good night. Get to sleep. Thank you for always joining in. And sorry that we are in different places on planet Earth. Good idea, Shane. Love to see new and vintage candle matchups. Yeah, I really invested in a lot of older candles for this purpose, and I just never got to it because Halloween crept up so quickly this year that it kind of put all of my other Yankee candle endeavors on pause. I got my banana nut bread Yankee candle. Yum. Banana nut bread. Banana nut bread. I don't know why that's not like a staple everywhere. That always seems to, like, every so often it'll pop up or you'll find it at an outlet. But like, it's one of those, it's so authentic that, has anyone ever seen that, like, that GIF or Giphy of like the woman eating the candle? Like, I feel like I want to be that woman eating that banana nut bread candle because it smells so real. I don't think it's early at all. People are already decorating for Christmas around here, says My Clothes Smell Like Candles, and I'm in the South. Well, that's good. You know, to me, it's just about phases. It's like when, you know, right now with the traveling, it's hard for me to really decorate, and plus I don't have like the beautiful apartment that I used to have where I could decorate it. But instead of just like doing Halloween or doing autumn or doing Christmas, I would just kind of morph it. You know, every day change a little bit, and every day as I inch closer to a different point in the season, the decorations would change. I would swap things out. So I don't think anyone has to go full-blown Christmas, but definitely start incorporating maybe a little bit of the winter berries, a little bit. It's starting to get cold out, right? So a little bit of the snow, a little bit of the icy stuff. Hearth from Witch City Wicks is pretty close to wood burning fireplace. That's a great candle. I don't actually have one. I've smelled it multiple times. Cat, who's cat? Did I miss Cat? Oh, there's Cat. Cat loves Babes in Toyland. That's such an awesome name. Babes in Toyland. Have you ever seen March of the Wooden Soldiers, the Laurel and Hardy film? Staple of Christmas. Even though it's not really that Christmassy of a movie. I got a pic of this sunset. I gotta get a picture of this sunset. I'll be back. Oh, good for you. I totally agree with the romantic aspect about buying a candle from abroad. Yankee Candle creates the feel good, I think you mean like in like quotes, and lets the festive feeling for me, and gets that festive feeling going for you. Talking about U.S. Halloween Christmas vibes. Yeah, I totally hear you, and I'm here in New England, and I get you. I will be burning my Christmas candles next week, just getting through the last of the fall. I look forward to Shane and Anthony's. I like how she's including Anthony there, yeah. Reviews. It helps me choose my candles for the coming season. I'm gonna like toot our own horn here, but yeah, I think watching, if you watch Anthony and you watch my videos, we don't always post the same, like we don't talk about the same candles at the same time, and sometimes if he talks about a candle, I purposely won't do it because like he does such a great job, and I'll just let him do it, and I don't have a problem with that. It's for me, there's nothing more fun than like after I finish doing a video on a candle and I upload it, right? Then I can go and watch, you know, I'll watch Doug from Spooky Villages, I'll watch Brett Silly Candleman, I'll watch Anthony Candle Cafe, and many others. Well, not many, but several others, because I try to not watch too much. I don't want to be stealing people's vocabulary, you know what I mean? But I consider those three gentlemen to be very close friends. And it's so great to listen to Anthony because I think we could break down a candle and say completely different things, but at the same time, even though we're saying completely different things, I think we both would completely agree with what each other is saying. So it's always great to cross-reference, in my opinion. You know, if you're really trying to make a decision based like on what to purchase, I wouldn't rely just on me. I would definitely rely on Anthony more than me, because I'm here really just to, like, if right now if I'm smelling this coffee, I'm gonna refrain from telling you whether this coffee is good or not. But I can tell you that I could give you kind of the levels, the dynamics of this coffee, of the mouthfeel, the body of this coffee, the nutty notes, and how they compare with the fruity or the bright notes, and you know, all of the nuances in the coffee. Let me taste it again. It's actually this is a morning blend. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, to me, you know, like, a morning blend, kind of like maybe a Colombian coffee or South American coffee. It's got good acid. It's bright. You don't think coffee has acid, but actually lighter roast coffees or medium roast coffees have acids. So you see what I'm doing? I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just telling you what I'm perceiving when I drink the coffee. Yeah, like raw almonds, raw pecans. There's a significant raw nuttiness to this coffee. And I'm starting to salivate a lot underneath my tongue, and you're like, well, what does that mean? It's kind of gross. Well, when you salivate underneath your tongue, that your mouth reacting to the acidity in a beverage. That's kind of how you can gauge in a wine or any beverage, whether it be a coffee or a wine or any beverage where you're trying to detect how much acidity is in this beverage. It's by how much your mouth waters or how much saliva builds up underneath your tongue. And it's almost like I'm sucking on a pit from a plum or a peach or a cherry, like a black cherry or something. It's got that really, really very pleasant tart flavor that's balanced out with the cocoa notes of the coffee, the more toasted, roasted notes. Again, I just dished out a bunch of stuff about this coffee, but I neglected to say whether or not I like it, I don't like it, whether you should seek this coffee out. You see what I mean? So I'm here really just to dissect the fragrances. I try to stay away from buy this, buy that. I'm not saying Anthony does that, but I think Anthony does a great job really sharing his personal opinion and communicating, articulating what, how he's experiencing the candle. Knowing that it's very subjective. He knows everything is subjective, but he does such a great job. He doesn't just make a statement and leave it at that. He'll make a statement and then he'll articulate why he said that particular thing, and it's amazing to watch, because if you notice Anthony's videos, he doesn't cut. He never cuts. Anthony can talk for 45 minutes straight and not even take a breath. It amazes me. He the talent that, and I have to remind myself how he's a young. I hope he doesn't mind me calling him a young gentleman, but you remembering, like, young man, you know, because he doesn't seem like it. He seems, you know, God, when I was his age, God knows what I was doing. But I certainly couldn't communicate like he could. And he's been doing this longer than I have. I think Anthony's over 3 years, right? Is Anthony still here? Can I ask a question? May I ask a question? Has anyone gotten those advertisements? This is Anthony, hold on. Oh God, don't rely on me. LOL or lol, depending on how you, I never know. It's LOL. I always say lol in my head. Don't rely on me, just say, I just say what comes to mind, but that's what people want, Anthony. Sometimes it's right and sometimes it's not. Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, if it's what you're perceiving at the time, it can never really be wrong. I'm just rejecting everything you're saying. But I have fun going for it. Thanks for the kind words. Anthony, I have nothing, I think anyone here in the chat room it has nothing but kind words to say about you. And the fact that I'll make a video and I'll have literally 175 cuts where I cut the video from one camera to another. Anthony can just go, bam. Like I'm gonna look you right in the eye and I'm gonna talk to you for 45 minutes. And I'm not going to stumble once. That's terrifying for me. Stephanie had a question. Do you have a favorite coffee for the winter months? And then Diane saying, that's a good question. Do I have, so my coffee, when it comes to my favorite coffee, I can't pick, it's not like wine, where you can, for me personally, where I can solely rely on regions. Like I like Southern American coffee, Latin American coffee, Guatemalan coffee, Honduras coffee, Colombian coffee. I love because they are lighter to medium roast coffees. They're typically beans that you would roast them a lot lighter than something like, say something like Sumatra, which is really, you know, something that could be like almost like an espresso roast. So the way I answer that question is my go-to, I have several go-to coffee roasters. Companies, small, big, depends on how you look at it, who put so much time, effort, and science into roasting their coffee beans. And my go-to is Blue Bottle Coffee out of Oakland, California. When I lived in Napa, this is how it worked. I had a subscription with them, right? 1 week, they would send me a blended coffee, you know, coffee beans from different places, different locations, different roast styles, so blended together. And then 1 week, they would send me a single origin coffee, which of course means it's like saying single vineyard. It's coming from one place and it's one batch. So it may not be as complex, but it's portraying, a single origin coffee portrays what that particular place has to offer, instead of the coffee master blending his own brew, right? So they would roast on Sunday, they would ship on Sunday, I would get it on Monday, and by Tuesday I was grinding it and brewing it, and I did this for years. And it was affordable then, but now because I live in New York and they only roast in Oakland, even though there's Blue Bottles across the country, they only roast, the shipping would just be insane. It'd be like doubling the price of the coffee. But Stumptown, they're up in Oregon, but they also have another facility in Brooklyn, New York, where they roast. Highly recommend Stumptown. And for the colder seasons, I just do darker roasts. I don't mean espresso roasts. I just mean darker roasts. And you really can't classify because everybody has their own definition of what is, people hear city roast, light city roast, dark city roast, full city roast, you know, medium plus coffee, heavy or darkly roasted coffee, French coffee, Italian roast, French roast. What does it all mean? It doesn't mean anything because there's no rules, regulations, there's no standards, there's no one regulating that in the United States. like with wine, what you can call what. But I would say, you know, a nice a nice Sumatra coffee. You know, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Love you both and Philly Candleman, says Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. And a big shout out to Brett. Candle Cafe. Shane, I'm going to challenge you in a collab to no cuts video. You can do it. I'm sure the bloopers between the two of us would be awesome too. Yes, I totally would take that challenge. I'm not sure if you want to, like, the two of us, if two of us together, yeah, we'll totally not cut. We'll just roll with it. But if I were to do an unedited evaluation video, it would just be like this. I use my hands and I don't speak fluently, and sometimes I just will blatantly say the wrong word. Or I'll use euphemisms or phrases that are like, I feel like I'm Michael Scott sometimes from The Office. Like I can't get the words out of my mouth right. But yes, that Anthony, anytime when we like actually do get together, Anthony and I have had an idea for an actual in-person collaboration video. And hopefully, Anthony, if you're still there, we can pull this off. I really want to do it. We do probably have to wait for a while, but you know, I don't think there's anybody else. I would rather do it with this video with Anthony that I have in mind than to do it by myself, because I think it would be so much fun and there's so much to talk about. So hopefully, maybe early 2019 we could do that, but maybe we could do something sooner too. Anthony is awesome. He is my son's age, I think. I know he's going to be so successful in life just from watching his videos. Yeah, right? I mean, Anthony, I don't know. I think he, it's like, you have to remember, it's like, Anthony, it's like, he's doing this, I'm trying to think of the right words. Truly, it's a labor of love. There's no other agenda, right? He's got his life. He's on his path. He's doing his other things. His life is around him, but he always comes back for us to deliver videos. And I think there's something really to be said about that. I don't think I've ever felt like he's out there for attention or anything like that, or to grow or to get subscribers or make money off of advertisements from YouTube. Anthony says, definitely the two of us together. I mean, yes. You let me know. You let me know, and we'll make it happen. It's funny, Anthony and I both live in New York, and yet it's still hard to plan these things out. All right, guys. That'd be an entertaining and hilarious collaboration. You guys would have to make it happen. We will make it happen. It's just about a matter of time. And to be honest with you, here's the funny thing. I hope Anthony doesn't mind sharing this, that I'm sharing this. I think last time we got hung up on, wait a minute, where are we going to do it? Like, I have the smallest office in the world. I try to make it look as spacious and comfy as it is, but truly, it's a wine cellar. I mean, I have to keep that thing freezing cold. There's no place to lounge. It's definitely not a place to host somebody. And, that's a hike for Anthony to come up to hang out in my office, even though I've completely redid it. And then, Anthony is, he's in the comfort of his own home, which I think is a huge kind of that feel-good comfort, that asset, one of the assets to his videos, that I feel like, you're right there with Anthony in his home. And, it's like, that would just be weird, be me coming in with my boots and be like, hey, I'm coming into your house. So we needed to find a place. And like, well, where do we go? And because I'm me, and I'm OCD, and I come from, for me, I edit, and to me, audio and video and quality is always so important. Being in a loud place right now, like if Anthony and I were here, there's copyrighted music playing from several speakers. I can hear the clanking of shopping carts in this direction. I hear Christmas bells coming from this direction. There's wind chimes over here. Like a filmmaker, I'm noticing these are all problems that are going to come up during the editing process. So I want to just find a place. It's hard to find a place where it's like a controlled environment that's also really pretty, where you're not going to have these issues like copyrighted music right now, right? The reason why I'm wearing headphones is because YouTube would catch that and they would flag my video. So when I edit my videos, I have to spend hours canceling out the copyrighted music that you hear in the background. It's more than you guys need to know. Do it in a park while it's nice out. Wind! What if it's windy? I can take care of wind. Wind is okay. As far as audio is concerned, though, I'm only equipped for myself. See, this is my microphone right here, right? I got a lavalier microphone, a lapel microphone that I can put on. But that would mean I would need two recording devices or a mixer. I know, I'm a lunatic. I should just set up the phone and just do it. And that's probably what we'll end up doing. Park would be fun. I think the ocean or the bay would be great. Candle Cafe says, I'm going to brainstorm. I have a few good ideas, Shane. I'll reach out to you very soon. Thanks for the feedback, everybody. Thank you, Anthony, and thank you for joining in. I don't know if that's a sign out, but if it is, thank you for joining in today. And Diane is taking off too. So everyone have a fantastic evening. Thank you for just sitting down, having some coffee with me, taking a break while I'm editing here at the Yankee Candle Village. In the comments below, let me know of things like Laura said earlier. She wanted to see some of the things in the general store, like the pancake mixes, the jams, the preserves, the syrups, all of that good stuff. If there's anything here at the village specifically you want to see, document it, please. Put it in, not in the chat, in the comments below when this video is posted. So this way, when I do come and make a video, like another tour that's edited, I can hit those bullet points of everything that you want to see. I will be back to South Deerfield this season. I can almost guarantee that. So this won't be the only time we'll be here. But for everybody joining in, hit that thumbs up button if you're still in the house. It makes a big difference. And do me a favor, I said this the other day, check out my most recent videos on the Candle Enthusiast one. The future of this channel completely relies on spreading the word. Spreading the word, and I don't necessarily mean like, stopping someone who's walking by and be like, hey, you should watch the Candle Enthusiast. Like, that's good, but social media is this huge tool. So that woman, see, I said it kind of loud, so she might actually watch the Candle Enthusiast now. But social media is this great opportunity where you can exponentially expand and spread awareness. So take one of my favorite videos, a video that you enjoy, a video that you like, post it, share it, put it on Facebook. Whether it's a candle video, a travel video, get the word out. It's really, really important. I try to drive this point home at the end of the year as much as possible, because going into every new year, I'm looking at that subscriber count not because of popularity, but because of the more folks we have, the more potential pledges, $1 here, $2 here, a few dollars here, the more audience members we have, the more people tuning in, the more money we'll have to keep these travel videos going. And so spread the word. Spread the word. There's a song, spread the Spread the word. What's the song? I don't know the song. I'm going to finish my coffee, say goodbye to Yankee Candle Village, go back to my motel, and edit for the rest of the evening. And I will be seeing you folks soon in a completely different location, but it will be somewhere fun. It will be somewhere special. It will be somewhere heartwarming. And I think you'll have a good time. But for now, thanks again, and have a good one, guys.